For reservations at twice the hotel, call 1-800-EMBASSY.
The West Coast Conference regular season champions, Pepperdine, have a 32-26 lead on Santa Clara. Hi, I'm Steve Physiak, along with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The blood and guts of Pepperdine is a 5'8", 150-pound guy named Damon Lopez. He gave him the start, and he also, when Santa Clara came back, he gave him this big three to put back in the lead.
Well, he got put on his butt that time. I think they call that inadvertent contact. But he's doing everything. He's handling the ball and running the offense and making the really tough outside shots.
Pepperdine 60% from the field. Perfect from the free throw line for both teams. But the reason Santa Clara has been able to come back, 10 turnovers by the Waves. Santa Clara's defense got better, and Pepperdine did not take care of the basketball very well. Here we go. Second final 20 minutes of the West Coast Conference Championship at Memorial Gym. And there's Lopez, 15 points he had in that first half. Eisenrich with 10 for Santa Clara.
Santa Clara is going to have to get more people involved in their offense if they're going to do well in this game. Dwayne Lewis has really been a no-show so far to this point. I know he wants to have a better game and make a difference in this game.
And Eisenrich was just 2 for 7 from the floor in the first half. But you're right, Lewis 1 for 5 and Schmitz 1 for 4. So their outside guns are only 2 for 9. Santa Clara using the shot clock very, very well, averaging 27 seconds per scoring possession. They like the slower tempo. And Dick Davey, he said, we can win in the 60s, 70s, 80s. But last night he admitted to me, after watching Pepperdine win in the way they played against USF, we'd rather have it in the 50s.
Santa Clara is having an odd kind of tournament because they're shooting better from three-point range than they are from the field. And last night they shot better from three-point range than they did from the free throw line.
Well, tonight Santa Clara, 12 of their 23 shots have been three-pointers, but most of that has been the excellent interior defense. Here's Eisenrich, missing, rebounding, Nother, his 4th of the game. Making the start in the second half for Tom Asbury's Waves, Dana Jones, Byron Jensen, Derek Nother, Brian Parker, and Damon Lopez. Down low, Jones struggles with the basketball and flips it over his head to Brian Parker. Santa Clara going with Lewis, Eisenrich, Schmitz, Willery, and Fitzwilson. Or rather, Nash is in the game, starting in place of Fitzwilson. And there's Steve Nash. A trip to the NCAA tournament for the winner of this game.
Santa Clara is going with Dwayne Lewis guarding Dana Jones. Dana Jones is going to get a lot of opportunities inside the lane if they continue with that defensive alignment.
It's knocked away, and Schmitz with the steal.
Another turnover is going to cost Pepperdine if they keep making those turnovers.
After falling down quickly, the closest that Santa Clara was able to cut the Pepperdine lead in the first half was to 4. A 3 could cut it 2-3. We have a foul by the offense. And it goes against Dwayne Lewis. That's the second time he has made an offensive foul away from the basketball. Watch him, number 23.
Dwayne uses his elbow away from his body. The ref is going to call that every time.
6-point lead for the Waves. Try the high low to Jones, and he's double teamed. He still takes it in, but can't score. But he gets the offensive rebound.
Dana Jones has that uncanny ability to understand where the ball is going to come off the rim and be there with quick hands. He's not a big guy, but he understands timing. And
Nother's fouled by Eisenrich. His second.
What I was saying about Jones is he understands timing and when to jump, which is the key to getting rebounds. It's not always, they don't always go to the tallest person out there.
Kevin Dunn will come into the game, replace Mark Schmitz. Santa Clara wants to go bigger. And there's Dana Jones, the West Coast Conference Player of the Year, averaged 16 points, 9.5 rebounds this year, led the league in rebounding, led the league in field goal percentage at 63. And another member of that first team, all West Coast Conference, Derek Nother at the free throw line, and he knocks down the first foul shot.
Derek Nolan turns his feet in real tight there. He looks kind of pigeon-toed on that.
It'll be Santa Clara basketball. Down by 7. 18-10 to play here in the first half. Steve Physiak with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at Memorial Gym in San Francisco. Lopez on Woolery. Stay man, but again Lopez gives Woolery a lot of room.
The fact that John Woolery is not a scorer is really allowing Damon Lopez to take it easy on defense and constantly make all his concentration on offense.
Steve Nash hits the 3, and it's a 4-point game. And the crazies are even crazier. Woolery's defense even better on Lopez now. He got a good pick from Noether, though. Knocked away by Nash, and he knew he committed the foul immediately. His first foul. And Steve Nash will immediately go over and visit with his coach Dick Davey. Nash, we talked about him, a true freshman. He is from Canada, played on the Canadian Junior Olympic team, and they wanted him because of his outside shooting.
Nash just hit a long three-pointer because his defensive man is running behind the pick. That's given him a lot of room to take that shot. Pepperdine's going to have to come over that pick and keep the pressure on him.
Coming into this game, Nash in his last 3 games had hit 15 of 18 field goals. Tonight he has a pair of 3s. Byron Jensen knocks down the free throws, and the lead is back to 6 for Pepperdine.
Nash showed me a lot last night when he was so cool under pressure and made some key baskets and free throws when the game was on the line. He and Eiserman really made the difference last night.
Here's Nash to the hoop. Left hand goes.
That was definitely not a freshman play.
8 points for 18-year-old Steve Nash. He almost comes up with a steal, and he does, as he forces Parker to turn it over.
Here we see Nash just go right through everybody by fooling them going to his left hand.
He looked like Isaiah Thomas in that move. He's in a zone. Here he goes again, kicking it out to Dunn. And Dunn trying to scoop it in. Lewis has it blocked beautifully by Jensen. They had a chance to close within 2.
Pete Eiserman just got called for a foul fighting Noether for position underneath. That's really a difficult call. You really have to be careful when you do that.
And Dick Davey saying, what about both ways? They're shoving us down at their end.
That's the problem with pivot plays. Both guys shove, and it all depends on when the ref is looking.
You know about that.
I know a lot about that.
But you didn't foul out very often.
My coaches told me I'd better not foul out.
After your first game at UCLA when you scored 56. And then Coach Wooden said, nice job, keep it up. 56 points every night. Parker gets it down low to Dana Jones. And he can't score. Woolery with the basketball. Santa Clara can close it to 2 or 1 with a 3. And Jim Stupin stops play. The official on the far side as someone threw something in from the stands. And Dick Davey just turns around to his fans and says, hey, knock it off. We've got a timeout on the floor. 15:48 to play. Santa Clara coming back on Pepperdine. Another excellent game with number 20 Massachusetts against Temple. That is Thursday at 9:30. Atlantic 10 championship game here on Championship Week on ESPN. The West Coast Conference Championship on the line here in San Francisco. Pepperdine leading by 4 with Santa Clara with the basketball, and 15:48 to play. They were down by 13 in the first half. And coming up next on SportsCenter, we'll take a look at all that and more. We got our program director here, and he's in the stands holding signs. John Woolery. And Steve Nash in the backcourt. Dwayne Lewis, Pete Eisenrich, Kevin Dunn in the front line for Santa Clara. Dunn trying to post up on Jensen, and Jensen fouls him. Tom Asbury's team has won this West Coast Conference tournament the last 2 years. Last year, a sensational win, 73-70 over Gonzaga. And the year before that, without his superstar Doug Christie, he won in overtime over St. Mary's. The only other time they were in that championship game was in 1987. They faced Santa Clara, and they lost. Dick Davey was the assistant coach at that time. Carol Williams was the boss. Pepperdine stays in the zone. Nash going inside, forced at that time. Eisenrich tapped it out for Woolery. Shot clock's down to 13.
Santa Clara is getting this game to go the way they want it now. They're playing a nice slow tempo, which is the way they win.
As soon as we talk about controlling the tempo, they take a wild shot that doesn't even hit iron. Their defense has been much tougher than it was the first 7 minutes of this game. Nother right-hand hook.
I'm surprised that Pepperdine doesn't start every play looking inside like that, because it really causes the Santa Clara defense to collapse.
And Coach Asbury told us today, he said, I'm really an inside-outside coach where I go inside first.
When you play that style of play from the inside out, it really puts a lot of pressure on the defense, because the inside shots are high percentage shots. You give up a lot of those, you're going to lose. So when you get the defense to play the inside tough, it opens things up on the outside.
12 on the shot clock. Steve Nash eyes the clock. And here he goes against Parker. With the fade. This guy's sensational. He has now made 19 of his last 23 shots in his last 4 games.
These are not mid-season games where it's not a whole lot of pressure. These are high-pressure games with a lot at stake. And for an 18-year-old freshman to be playing that well under that amount of pressure, I think we're seeing something unique here.
Jones, he got position low post and has it spin out, but a foul will be called inside. Is it against Eisenrich? No, it's against Nother. Derek Nother, the most surprised player on the floor as he picks up his second foul.
There were a lot of hands and shoulders and hips being exchanged when that rebound came down. I'm sure he felt that he didn't foul anybody. You can see everybody in there. Well, Eisenrich just stumbled and got a foul call. Didn't really seem to be that much contact.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And went his way that time. Schmidt's back in the game. They drop it low to Eisenrich. He finds Schmidt through his foul and scores! How did he get that shot to fall?
That shot fell with a little bit of divine intervention there. Eisenrich gets double teamed and finds the man on the weak side. He just manages to muscle it up and gets a break off the backboard.
And Schmidt with the free throw gives Santa Clara an unbelievable comeback. For Dick Davey, they have rallied from 13 down, where Pepperdine and Tom Asbury was totally dominating this game. Santa Clara has never led. Now they are within 1.
You got full court pressure by Santa Clara. Damon Lopez goes right through that.
Steve Guile in the game with Lopez, Noder, Jones, and Jensen. Only shots in the second half for Pepperdine. Broncos defense has been excellent. And they get the steal. They forced it to Jones.
Jensen made that pass into the pivot without even looking.
Eisenrich. He hits, and Santa Clara has their first lead of the night. Wow. Santa Clara has their first lead of the game. They've already started dominating the game defensively. Schmitz with a big steal with great defense on Dana Jones. And then on the other end, Pete Eisenrich, who had made one of his last 7, hits a critical 3 like he did last night, twice late, and gives Santa Clara a 2-point advantage. 39-37. Eisenrich to the bench. Well, he'll get some minutes. As Anderson back in the game with Dunn and with Schmitz. Backcourt is Woolery and Nash. They get it low to Nother. He can't score. Again, the strong defense from Santa Clara.
I'm sure Nother felt that he got fouled, and there was a lot of contact on his body and arms as he went up.
Waves extend their defense a little more. It's not really a 4 corners because of the 45-second clock, but they really do want to make sure the tempo is at their pace. Nash. He hits again. Dana Jones.
Dana Jones just showed us why he's the player of the year in this West Coast Conference. That was a much-needed basket. They've got to get several more of those and get back into this game and start playing their game again.
42-39, Santa Clara leads. Santa Clara with a 15-7 run in the last 9 minutes. Schmitz kicks it off and a foul will be called. And Santa Clara is doing exactly what they wanted to, get to that free throw line. We told you they were second best in the West Coast Conference. Tom Asbury, one of the great coaches in the West Coast Conference, has seen his team rally to so many critical wins this year. Big wins over Zaga, Santa Clara in double overtime. They beat the Broncos earlier this year, and that game was at Santa Clara. Stay 2-3 in that zone. Parker and Lopez out top, and Guile in the game now with Nother and with Jones. Tom Asbury just told his club, stay in this zone. Shot clock's down to 15. Woolery has just shouted out the offensive instructions, and now he runs the offense. Down to 7, down to 6. Schmitz has to force, and he misses. And the rebound is picked up by Parker. Parker has been very quiet offensively. And takes a wild shot, and there's Jones again. Oh, is he good?
Dana Jones knows where the ball's coming off. He's right there with a fingertip, gets it right over the defense.
You know, you're talking about clutch games. Dana Jones in the LA City Championship game in high school once scored 29 points and grabbed 29 rebounds.
Very balanced performance.
He's always been big in the big games, and he has been part of their West Coast Conference Championship the last 3 years.
Pepperdine's playing smart now. They're not going too crazy trying to get the ball back. They know that there's a lot of time left. They're definitely in this game.
Well, they switched from the zone to the man, and now Woolery has to drive. He kicks it out to Schmitz, who fires from 3 and scores. All those threes that didn't go in the first half suddenly are. And Tom Asbury's laughing like, what do we have to do? Parker. He still has not scored from three-point range. Yes, he has. That is his only field goal. Parker in the first half hit a three, and that was it. He again works the shot clock down to 15. Here goes Nash against Parker. Rebounds won by Schmitz. Lopez struggles for it. It's a hell ball situation. It should be Pepperdine basketball, and it will be. Tom Asbury thought it should have been a travel.
You're going to watch Lopez sneak in behind the rebounder and get a hand on the ball, tied up. Smart heads-up play.
Nash defends Parker.
Santa Clara has really intensified their pivot defense.
Another knockdown Eisenrich, but nothing called. Eisenrich hops back up. Jones. Great pass inside to Nother.
Eisenrich is actually fouling Nother inside, trying to keep him from getting good position. He's grabbing him around his waist and trying to spin him.
He's playing like that old center who used to play you from Santa Clara, Dennis Autry.
Well, no, Dennis Autry was a cheap shot artist who really didn't have much skill. Pete Eisenrich is trying to outposition Nother, but he's giving up a lot of weight, and it makes it difficult.
Nother misses the first foul shot.
There's about a 25-pound difference between Pete Eisenrich and Nother, with Nother getting the advantage there.
Well, he was just kind of shot putting those up there, hoping they would go in. He makes one of two. Santa Clara leads by 3, 45-42. Linda Cohen and Mike Tirico will be taking a look at the Magic and the Knicks. Kenny Anderson is out for the year. And Ronnie Lott signs with the New York Jets, one of the great free safeties of all time. Now, the program director obviously did not get with this group. They got everything accurate except next on SportsCenter. Actually, next on ESPN will be the sports reporters. Get those guys out of here. Doing their job, though. And so have those officials. We have three of the best out on the West Coast, and there's the lead official, Dave Libby. He is a great one. Waves are down by 3. They led by 13 in the first half. But Santa Clara with a brilliant second half rally. Damon Lopez, who had 15 in the first half, has not scored in the second. There's the pressure, and Woolery dribbled it off his knee. Pepperdine has it.
Pepperdine came out with full court pressure. I don't think Santa Clara anticipated that. They got the Pepperdine got the turnover.
Dick Davey was about ready to send Carl Anderson in, and now when they got the ball in, he has to bring it back to his bench. Lopez again being controlled by Woolery. He's been the man defending Lopez in the second half. And he throws it right away. Guile threw it right into the hands of John Woolery. Larry Hauser, the assistant coach for Santa Clara, told us last night that John Woolery is our key. And he has only, now 7 turnovers with Parker with a steal and layup. It's a 1-point game. We just showed you turnovers, and Santa Clara had been doing so well prior to that.
Santa Clara has made 2 in a row, and this is the time of the game when you don't want to make those type of turnovers.
6:37 to play. Santa Clara by 1. Really the defense that has been controlling the tempos, and since the timeout, Tom Asbury's club really sticking it to the Broncos. .11 on the shot clock. Eisenrich for 3. He hit.
Noda just made a serious mistake there by letting Eisenrich go out to the three-point line, and Noda didn't follow him out there. He thought he was going to, his assignment was to block the lane.
A guy 6'9" who can shoot that far outside. Again, Lopez can't get around Woolery. They set the pick. Lopez looking for a pick and roll, and Jones rolled the wrong way. Lopez, a three-pointer is missed, but Woolery commits his second foul, so Pepperdine's best foul shooter will be at the line for three. That's the second time Woolery has done that in the game.
Pepperdine has made a conscious effort in this series of plays to get Lopez a good shot. You watch, they consistently look for him. Here he goes up, draws the foul.
That's one of those situations, if you're the defense crew, don't you just want to just flash the arm in front of the face? That was from about 25 feet out.
It was, but Lopez has been knocking those down. I'm sure they wanted to get a hand in his face. They just got there out of control and committed the foul.
Lopez, 1 point, his first here in the second half. First miss of the game. He's an 83% foul shooter. So
that is the first free throw that's been missed this game by either team.
Woolery controlled by Lopez. They get it to Lewis. He struggles with it. Jones tries to take it away, and we will have a held ball situation, and it will be Santa Clara's basketball.
We're going to see the defense collapse, and Jones gets a hand on the ball and ties it up and takes it away from Lewis.
His hand's so quick. Nash for three. This guy's ice. 16 points for the freshman.
Young Mr. Nash is making a name for himself in this tournament.
He is shooting 80% from the field in his last 4 games. 6 for 6 in the second half after 4 for 12 in the first. And Nash has hit 3 of them. Great rebound by Jones.
Dana Jones sneaks in, just gets his shoulders in good position to go up in between people, gets a hand on it, tips it to himself, puts it back in the hoop.
Well, Damon Lopez got really picked off on Steve Nash's last three-pointer. He gets fouled now by Santa Clara. The foul going to John Woolery. I'm sorry. They went to Steve Nash, they're saying. No, it is Woolery. It is Woolery. It's his second. And Nash pulls the trigger again. 19 for the night.
7 consecutive three-pointers. That's shooting.
Santa Clara has a 6-point lead. Southern Illinois has already won their championship with the Missouri Valley. And East Carolina, the number 7 seed. 4 minutes and 23 seconds to go. The Broncos struggling to inbound that basketball. Lewis gets it into Mark Schmitz. And he finds Steve Nash, who gets it to Eisenrich. An 8-point lead for Santa Clara. Lopez misses the 3. Was there a foul? No, simply an air ball, and it's Santa Clara's basketball out of bounds. Tom Asbury wanted a foul, does not get it. 4:06 to play.
For the way you travel today more than ever, the smart money is on budget. for the right car at the right price. Call your travel consultant or budget. The smart money is on budget.
Santa Clara has an 8-point lead with 4:06 to play. Pepperdine full court pressure, but Kareem, the Broncos broke it beautifully.
Well, the Broncos are just using the play to get the ball to the open man in the open court and let him create. Nash finds Eisenrich for an easy layup. Pepperdine is really falling apart at the seams now. They're not playing the way they need to play in crunch time.
Dick Davies said he thinks Stephen Nash could be the best ball handler they've had since Eddie Joe Chavez, who was a great point guard back in the 70s. And he has 19 points in the night. He has made all 5 of his three-pointers, and he is a 18-year-old freshman. He has the basketball now. He's the baby-faced assassin. Dwayne Lewis, it's a blocking foul against Pepperdine. Somebody has to step up for the challenge for Pepperdine, and you really get the feeling it has to be Lopez and Jones.
Pepperdine's committing too many turnovers and making too many bad defensive plays to get back in the game. It's not the way they played all year.
What a year it has been for Santa Clara already. This is a basketball team that was picked in the preseason to finish last in the West Coast Conference. And here they are in the championship game of the tournament, leading by 8. They turn it over, and the Waves get it low to Jensen. And that's the way Pepperdine has to play. That is 4 fouls on Pete Eisenrich.
Jensen gets good post-up position. Pete Eisenrich has fouled him.
They cannot lose that man. They are not very deep on the front line.
With a 6-point lead, Pete didn't really need to make that play. All he needed to do is just keep his hand up. And even if the basket goes in, they still got the good lead.
Jones with a steal. Is he fouled? Yes, he is. Dana Jones now will be at the free throw line. That was the 7th team foul against Santa Clara, and it will send Dana to the line for 1 plus the penalty.
It'll be a shame for Santa Clara to lose this game on turnovers after they fought back so well in the second half.
Jones makes the first. He's a 62% foul shooter. There's the West Coast Conference Coach of the Year, Dick Davey. Jones knocks them both down. And it's a 3-point game. Eisenrich struggles to inbound to John Woolery. Excellent defense by Parker to get it across to Schmitz.
Plenty of time left in this game. It's going to come down to 1 or 2 shots at the end.
Woolery almost has it stripped by Guile. Now Lopez flashes over on Woolery. Schmitz for 3. They have been unbelievable from 3-point range. Steve Guile didn't really have his feet set. And Eisenrich rebounds, and a foul is called. Is it against John Woolery? I believe it is.
John Woolery reached in from the side, grabbed the rebounder's arm that time. He was just going for the ball, but there it is. Guile misses the shot. Parker reaches in for it, and Woolery has his arm.
And the 3rd foul against John Woolery. 2:22 to play. Santa Clara by 6. Brian Parker, he has set the Pepperdine record already this year with 193 assists in 1 season, and he drops the first foul shot. cut that Santa Clara lead to 5. Eisenrich rebounds the second miss. Schmitz, Nash, Woolery, Parker coming in to defend. Wayne Lewis and Eisenrich. Schmitz again. He hits. Nine for 9 from three-point range for Santa Clara. And they have the basketball back. And Eisenrich loses it off his foot out of bounds. Right there was Dave Libby, and Dick Davey walking to the end of the bench. He is furious. He wants a timeout to talk to his troops. But they don't see him. And Lopez launches from 3 and misses. Lewis rebounds. And Lopez fouls. Tom Asbury can't do a better job of coaching this game, but when the opposition hits 9 for 9 three-pointers, his team has to foul down the stretch to just try and get back in the game. I mean, I've never seen a situation where a team took 9 three-pointers in a second half and made all of them.
Santa Clara has not been a very effective team inside, but from beyond the three-point line, they've been unbelievable.
John Woolery. Tom Asbury, who spent 9 seasons behind Jimmy Herrick. 22 years. Coached behind one of the West Coast Conference legends, Harold Williams. Can you believe it? 63-54 Santa Clara with 1:34 to go. Santa Clara has been to the NCAA tournament 8 times. 3 in the 50s, 3 in the 60s. In the 70s, they only went once, and not even with the great Kurt Rambis on that ball club. And then in the 80s, they only went once, not with Harold Keeling. Last time they went was in 1987. They beat Pepperdine in this West Coast Conference Tournament Championship game here at Memorial Gym. Here is Mark Schmitz with the 9th three-pointer for Santa Clara in the second half. 9 for 9. There are 13 three-pointers in this game, a new West Coast Conference record, and it comes from a team whose basketball coach, Dick Davey, says, I hate the three-pointers.
I think Dick's going to change his mind after tonight.
John Woolery. Hit a free throw before the break and one after, and he's given his club a 10-point lead. Jensen. Guile for 3. He scores and cuts it to 7 at the 120 mark. A foul is called. Is it against Dana Jones? I believe so. That is a 3rd foul on the West Coast Conference Player of the Year. He's been limited to only 12 points. And only 2 in the second half. No, I'm sorry. He has 10 in the second half. John Woolery now 3 for 3 from the foul line. Damon Lopez, who had 15 in the first half, very quiet in his second 20. Woolery knocks the next one down. That gives him a 9-point lead. Lopez missing. Jones tried to tap it to himself. Instead, Lewis comes up with the board. And Steve Nash will work that clock. Oh, he has been so cool in this game, and he's at the free throw line.
Steve Nash has shown everybody tonight that he is here to play basketball for some time to come. It's a great performance by him tonight. Cool under pressure, doing the right things at the right time. Great game for him.
And this just the beginning. He's an excellent foul shooter at 83%. 53 seconds to go. Santa Clara leads by 11. Guile scores from 3 at the 49-second mark. There's a timeout on the floor. And Dick Davey raced on the floor to make sure about the timeout situation. Santa Clara leads by 8 with 49 to go. Quite a turnaround. Pepperdine, who so dominated the first 10 minutes of this game, taking a 13-point lead, now trails by 8 on a barrage of three-pointers by Santa Clara. Pete Eisen has hit a couple of bombs from deep. But a little freshman by the name of Steve Nash has done most of the damage. 19 points in the game. All 5 of his three-point attempts have gone and found home. Tom Asbury's run of 2 straight West Coast Conference championships might be going to that man. The WCC Coach of the Year, Dick Davey, in his first year. After 22 years on the sideline next to his good friend Carol Williams, who's now the athletic director. Eisenrich will inbound. Schmitz is double teamed. And he finally finds Woolery. They get it to Schmitz. A 10-point Santa Clara lead. Parker. And Jones with a beautiful tip attempt. Can't get it to go. Schmitz will outrun everybody except Parker, who fouls him.
Santa Clara has really done what they wanted to do tonight. You might want to call them overachievers, but they're going to have the big smile on their face on the ride home tonight.
How about this kid? Nobody knew about him. Nobody knew about him when they picked this team to finish last in this league before the season.
Well, he's a foreign ringer. What do you expect?
Schmitz with the free throw.
This has not been a good night for first seed.
Lopez from 3. 12 seconds to go. Eisenrich just holds it for a little while and then calls timeout with 7 seconds to play. And Santa Clara leading by 8 points. Steve Nash with 19 in this contest. He asks his fans to rally. Santa Clara looks like they are #1 in the West Coast Conference. There's the architect, Dick Davey, giving his final instructions to his team. The man in the middle, Steve Nash, the true freshman. I took 2 points away from him. He has 21 points, and Dick Davey will enjoy him the next 3 years. 7 seconds to go. Santa Clara leading by 8. And Eisenrich will inbound. Gets it. He is fouled immediately by Steve Guile, and he's back at the free throw line. Tom Asbury, a great job he has done. Assistant at Pepperdine. He's won more games percentage-wise than anyone in West Coast Conference history, 83%. Now his team hoped to be invited, but it might be the NIT. Steve Nash with 22 points. with 23, a career high for the true freshman in the biggest game of his life. Lopez at the buzzer. And Santa Clara is going to the NCAA tournament. The team that everyone picked to finish last finishes first as Santa Clara upsets Pepperdine 73-63 for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm Steve Physiak. Let's now go back to our ESPN studios and John Saunders.
All right, Stephen Kareem, thanks a lot. Another #1 seed losing Santa Clara, first time in the tournament since 1987. That year they beat Pepperdine and did it on that very floor in San Francisco. A reminder, day 4 of championship week comes your way.